Wendy. It's been quite some time since you and I last spoke. How have the years been treating you? Oh, wait. Why should I even bother asking that? I already know the answer. They can't have been treating you that well. You're an old, decrepit woman, abandoned by your own family and left to live the rest of your days alone. What kind of person is going to be happy with that situation? You're as miserable as they come. What's going on right now? Who is this? Is that you, Samantha? What's the matter? Are you so shocked that your daughter would be generous enough to talk to you after all these years? That's just so funny. You really have no hope for your own life, do you? I mean, seriously. How the hell do you even wake up in the morning, Wendy? Well, I can already tell that this is my beloved daughter talking to me. It seems that you haven't changed over the years. You're still calling me Wendy when I'm your actual mother. You don't have the decency to call me Mom, do you? What are you talking about right now? Are you actually getting bitter over something like that? You only have yourself to blame. I mean, honestly, do you think after everything that happened that I would treat you the same? Like you're this beloved mother that I care so much for? So not only are you a wretched excuse of a human being, you're also stupid and delusional? Honestly, if I thought talking to you would be this entertaining, I would have messaged you much earlier. Well, I'm glad that you're finding some sort of amusement out of this, Samantha. Anyway, what is it? Is that really why you're messaging me right now? You're just a little bit bored. If that's the case, I'd appreciate it if you just left me alone. You've got your life, and I have mine. We've already decided to agree to disagree. Let's just get on with our lives and accept that we don't see eye to eye. How dare you say something like that? Are you trying to tell me that after these 10 years you still think the same way you did back then? Are you seriously not going to own up and take responsibility? Samantha, just stop it right now. You don't want to go back into that territory. I'm pretty sure you and I have done enough arguing about this. And yeah, it still amazes me that you can't get it through your thick skull. I mean, seriously, Mom. Are you still going to act like you're a victim? Look, I'm not asking for this argument right now. You're the one pushing it. Regardless of whether or not you want to admit it, Samantha, your father was in the wrong. If you're going to sit there and try to change my mind about it, then you're just wasting your time. No argument that you or your father make is going to make me lie to myself. You're better off just moving on with your life. Wow, and there it is. That old stubborn, arrogant attitude. I'm impressed. You really haven't changed over the past 10 years. I thought after all that time being on your own, you'd think you'd reflect and realize that you were the one in the wrong. Not that I was going to forgive you for what happened in the first place, but I was expecting you to at least apologize to me the moment I messaged you. Really? You expect me to apologize to you? And I guess you want me to apologize to your trash father as well. To think you're the one calling me delusional. I think you should take some time yourself to think about things, Samantha. Clearly, after all these years, you haven't grown up. You're still just a little girl. Don't you dare look down on me. How dare you? Are you really going to have that arrogant attitude with me when I'm messaging you out of the kindness of my heart? Just who the hell do you think you are? You know, you're only going to stay an old, lonely crone for the rest of your life if you keep that attitude up. Honestly, you wonder why Dad and I left you in the first place. You and your father left me because your father's a manipulator and you're an idiot. You think that just because your dad is a cool person and lets you do whatever you want, it means he's a good parent. Or better yet, that he's actually honest with you. As if. You're just as stupid as I was when I fell for his little lies. There you go again, blaming my dad. Do you really want me to spend another 10 years not messaging you, Wendy? I mean, think about it. Right now, I'm giving you an opportunity to apologize. I'm giving you a chance to atone for your sins, to make up with your family, for you to actually step up and be a mom. And you're too prideful and arrogant to just admit that you were wrong? Is this the way you want to live your life? You just want to be continually disregarded by your family? I live my life with dignity, Samantha. Something that your beloved father doesn't understand. And if I had to be a betting woman, I'd say you are just like him. You judgmental piece of crap. You really don't help yourself, do you? I'm your daughter. Your family. After what happened to me, Samantha, how can I consider either of you my family? Your father cheated on me. He abused me in my marriage with him. And to add insult to injury, he forced you to side with him instead of me. You believed his ridiculous lies about me being a horrible wife and that I was talking to other men. I mean, are you that stupid? Or are you just blind to the fact that he kept me in that house 24/7 under his will? All this time has passed, and your argument still doesn't change. You still treat yourself like you're a victim. You see, that's why you're never going to get far in life, Mom. That's why you're always going to be a loser that no one likes. Until you can get rid of that victim mentality of yours, you're never going to get yourself out of that slump. You're never going to get yourself back together or find someone as fantastic as my dad. Fantastic? Are you trying to make me laugh right now, Samantha? The man went as low as to buy young women off the internet to come over to the house when I wasn't there. Is that really someone you call fantastic? Shut up! Stop lying about my dad! You have no idea how much that makes me angry. Well, regardless of whether or not it makes you angry, Samantha, it's the truth. I don't care if you accept it or not. Anyway, what are you pestering me about in the first place? Do you really want to argue about this? You have something you want to say to me, right? I don't know if I really want to talk about it, considering you're still the same old witch that you've always been. But fine. Let me tell you some good news that's going on in my life. You see, that's the sign of a good person, Wendy. You don't see me holding any grudges against you, do you? Even though you have that detestable personality, I'm still extending an invitation to you. Inviting you to my wedding. Inviting me to what now? That's right! Your little girl is going to get married. Except I'm not your little girl. You and I aren't family anymore. Well, congratulations. Who's the unlucky guy? Unlucky? What? I'm an amazing girl. Don't you dare talk bad about me. Any guy that is blessed to be in a relationship with me knows how much of a good deal he's getting. Yeah, right. Behind all that makeup you like to cake yourself in and those false niceties, I know that deep down inside, you're just a vile, selfish little girl. I bet he's sitting there thinking that he's got the best deal in the world. Not only is he with a beautiful woman, but she's perfect in every way. She behaves in exactly the way that he wants her to. I bet he doesn't realize that it's all just a simple act. One day he'll be sitting there thinking that none of this could get any better, that he can finally live his life stress-free. Then the next day he's going to realize the demon you really are. You're going to make demands of him. And when he can't meet those demands, I wouldn't be surprised if you get violent. Oh my God. You just, don't understand anything at all, do you? My boyfriend isn't like you. He's not some lazy tramp that only thinks about himself. He knows how amazing I am and how hard he has to work to please me. He's going to be a great partner. And I'm pretty sure he's going to be a great dad someday. He's going to be exactly like the dad that I know and love. You mean he's going to cheat on you? Dad didn't have any choice. What do you mean he didn't have a choice? Are you trying to say that he tripped and found himself inside another woman? Like it was an accident? No matter how hard you try, you can't defend your father on this, Samantha. He cheated on me, had the nerve to twist the story and make it out like I was the one to blame for it. And he even manipulated you to believe such a stupid story. What's so great about a father like that? Do you really want your husband to share your father's qualities? I'm telling you right now, Dad isn't like that. I'm sick of you insinuating something so stupid. I'm having second thoughts about inviting you to this wedding of mine now. Well, look, don't waste your breath. I'm not particularly interested in going in the first place.
Hey, Wendy, how are you? It's been forever, hasn't it? I hope things have been going well for you. It's been, what, like 10 years or something since we last spoke? Time sure does fly, doesn't it? I bet so much has changed for you in the past couple of years. Things have changed for me as well. I hope we get the chance to catch up. Say, has our daughter given you the wonderful news about what's happening recently? If she hasn't told you yet, you're in for a big surprise.
And there it is. I knew if my daughter was going to message me out of the blue, you'd pop up at some point, pestering me.
Oh, come on, Wendy. Don't talk to me like that. Pestering you? I'm delighting you with my charm and presence. I know you like to put on a tough exterior and everything, but I'm a sensitive guy. You could be a little nicer to me, you know?
I'm not particularly nice to people who don't have a shred of concern for their own family. Especially when they run off with some airhead skank, indulging in their own selfish desires.
Hey, come on, that's a little harsh, don't you think? You're acting as if it was all my fault. I think everyone in our family can agree that happened because of your incompetence as a wife.
What the hell do you want from me, Paul? You messaged me out of nowhere after all these years, and you're going to insult me like that? You better apologize, and you better mean it, because I'm really not in the mood to talk about this nonsense with you.
Hey, Wendy, come on, settle down. You've gotten a lot more grumpy over the years. You've turned into one of those old farts, haven't you?
Paul, you're treading on thin ice right now. What the hell do you want from me?
All right, fine, look. It's our daughter's wedding. I think an excellent time for you and me to catch up. Maybe we could even rebuild what we had long ago.
Yeah, right. What makes you think I would want to do anything like that?
Well, gee, I don't know, honey. Maybe because you've lost a good man? I'm giving you an opportunity to get back with me. Why would you be stupid enough to throw something like that away?
The only thing that would make me stupid is getting back with a piece of crap like you again, Paul. Sorry to fail your expectations, but I'm through with you. I'm not some old lonely woman desperate for companionship. I've already shacked up with a good man, someone who cares about me. I don't need to worry about pieces of crap like you.
Wait, what did you just say? You actually found someone new?
Yes, I did.
Since when have you done that?
I must have met him about 4 years ago. We've been in a relationship ever since. I don't see it ending anytime soon.
What the hell? Do you have any idea what you're doing right now? You need to leave that man immediately.
What are you talking about? Why?
What do you mean, why? Because I'm your husband. I'm trying to take care of you. I know he's not gonna treat you well.
Did you seriously just say that right now? In what world are you living, Paul? You are not my husband. You haven't been for a long time, and I prefer to keep it that way. I think I dodged a bullet when our marriage ended the way it did. To think that I'd be stuck in a relationship with you, putting up with your treatment, when I could be with the amazing guy I'm with now. It makes me shudder just thinking about it.
I don't believe what I'm hearing right now. What makes this guy better than me?
Well, for one thing, he doesn't cheat on me with prostitutes. He also doesn't turn my own daughter against me. And you know what? That's just the bare minimum. He's a lot more than that. He's got a proper head on his shoulders. He's built a fantastic company and even has a little girl he takes care of. I know he doesn't have time to play around behind my back.
Wait a second, what did you just say? He's got another child? Don't you see your relationship with him couldn't possibly work out? He's always gonna care about that child more than he does you. Do you seriously not realize that, Wendy?
Give me a break.
Things are worse than I thought. I better make my way back into your life as soon as possible. Who knows how much worse this could get? I'll see you at the wedding, Wendy. Don't worry, Prince Charming is coming to save you.
Get over yourself, Paul. You honestly think you're the most desirable guy out there, don't you? I've cut both you and our daughter out of my life, and I don't want either of you back in it. So just leave me alone already. The both of you. Don't you think you're taking this too far, Samantha? What you're doing right now is borderline harassment. What are you talking about? What's harassment? All the incessant calling, the emails, the letters you put in my mailbox. I mean, can't you see that I'm not interested in your little wedding? Can't you see that you're missing out on the opportunity of a lifetime? You really have no idea, do you? This isn't some basic, boring old wedding, Wendy. It's definitely not like what you and Dad would have had. This is going to be the real deal. This is going to be the type of wedding you couldn't even dream of. Don't you understand that you're passing that up? I know full well what your wedding is going to be like, Samantha. And I'm not interested. Not in the least. How could you not be? This is your daughter's glorious day. Are you really that bitter that you're not going to come and celebrate it? Not that I wanted to say this, but we have some very influential people coming to this wedding. I'm pretty sure you've seen the famous movie Foot Locker that came out recently, right? The cast from that movie are very good friends with my husband. Oh, really now? You don't believe me? I'm not bluffing, Wendy. When I say that I'm getting married to a fantastic guy, I really mean it. He's a hard worker who earns a lot of money. He's got some powerful connections, and if I were you, I'd be a little bit more grateful. Thanks to me, I'm actually offering you a chance to meet famous people. What do you think about that, Mom? I've always known you to be a sucker for movies. There's no way you could turn down a deal like that. Are you going to accept my invitation or not? You really don't know when to give up, do you? Fine, I'll come to your wedding, but not for the reason you're thinking. What do you mean? As a matter of fact, I've already received your invitation. I received it long before you even decided to send it to me. Huh? You heard me. I received it from one of my top employees. Unfortunately, when I first got it, it slipped my mind. I get this type of thing a lot. I am managing a lot of people, after all. Wait a second. What's going on right now? You manage employees? And the guy who gave you the invitation was my boyfriend? That's right. What the hell? This doesn't make any sense. You must be lying to me right now. How does someone as pathetic as you manage to get yourself a job? And not only that, but to supposedly be the boss of my boyfriend? You were just some useless housewife who wasn't capable of keeping the place in order. There's no way you'd be able to get a decent job for yourself. Well, that's where you're mistaken. It wasn't that I was bad at keeping the house in order. Your dad was just too much of a pig. He always behaved around the house in a way that was belligerent and almost intentionally messy. It seemed like he just wanted to find ways to pick on me, and causing a mess for me to clean up was one of them. He'd leave so much for me to do that I couldn't possibly finish everything, and he would use that against me. As for how I got a job in the first place, it was very hard for me at first. I had a long period of not working, just staying at home. It didn't look good on a resume, but thankfully in my earlier years I worked hard at a company. After a lot of grit and persistence, I managed to find myself in a working position once again. Over time, I switched companies here and there, gradually but steadily raising my position. And now I'm in the place I am now. I'm looking after hundreds of employees just like your boyfriend, Marcus. Oh my God. So it's true. You know his name. So you actually know who he is then? I sure do. He's exactly as you say. He's a hard worker who earns a lot of money. I know him quite well. Despite being one of my top employees, I get quite busy. I don't have time to look at every little thing that gets on my desk. One day, I found a little bit of downtime for myself and decided to sort everything out. I took a look at his invitation, and I found the name that I saw very peculiar. I couldn't believe that it was yours. I had to rub my eyes twice. From that point on, I called him into my office to inquire about this invitation. I wanted to make sure that what I was thinking was right. This couldn't possibly have been my daughter. That's when young Marcus showed me a photo of you, and it confirmed everything. It looks like the girl he was marrying was you after all. I couldn't believe it. My heart dropped the moment he showed me. I can't believe this either. I mean, the woman he's been talking about this whole time has been you? He's been talking about me. He sure has. You wouldn't believe how much he raves on about you. I mean, he almost doesn't shut up about it. I swear, there were times when I thought he had the hots for you or something. Something like that would never happen. He's one of my most valued employees. We'd never have that type of relationship. Of course you wouldn't. You're an old bat. There's no way he'd be interested in you in that way. But he has so much respect for you. He really looks up to you as a leader. And that respect is mutual. I know the type of guy Marcus is. I know what he's been through. Which is why it makes me so sad and perplexed that he's actually getting married to you. What the hell? What do you mean? Why would it make you sad? It's just wrong. It's wrong for him to be tricked into something like this. I don't think he knows what he's getting himself into. I just hope he realizes it before it's too late. Yeah, right. Just shut your damn mouth, Wendy. I know Marcus is great and everything, but he should count himself lucky to get into a relationship with me. I'm the real prize in this relationship. You hear me? Me!
Wendy, you have no idea what you're doing. You need to get rid of that guy. You need to get rid of him right now.
I'm sorry. Why should I listen to anything you have to say?
Are you kidding me right now? After that fiasco he caused, you're still gonna consider him over me? Did you not see how violent he was towards me?
I know my husband, Paul. I know his disposition. It takes a lot to tick him off. He rarely goes over the edge, but if he needs to be assertive, he sure knows how to be.
Are you kidding me right now? That guy pretty much threw me out of the venue.
Because you can't take a hint. Paul, I'm not interested in you. I found someone new, and you need to get over it. I've got my family, and you've got yours. Just go back to our daughter.
I can't do that. You have no idea how she's been treating me lately.
What are you talking about?
Well, look, I didn't really want to say this, but recently I got fired from my job.
You got fired?
Yeah, it was some stupid claim about me sexually harassing people in the workplace. I mean, those idiots don't understand what was going on. I was getting signals from the girl. She wanted me.
I knew it. This doesn't surprise me. Who was the girl? Some young new employee.
Yes.
You're hopeless with women. The only girls that are interested in you are the ones you pay for.
Oh, just shut up and listen. Samantha found out about it and started to put two and two together. Now she actually thinks I was the one who cheated on you. She thinks I'm to blame for the family falling apart, and she wants nothing to do with me.
And so she should. You've been pulling the wool over her eyes this whole time, Paul. Did you seriously think it was going to last forever? If you're all on your own now, so be it. That's what you deserve.
You don't understand. I've got no one now. I've got no job. I've got no place to stay. You're my only hope. You've got to get rid of that guy. Do you hear me, Wendy? It's for both of our sakes. Do the right thing and get rid of him.
Oh my God. I can't believe this. What the hell have you done? Are you serious right now? I finally get married and you're actually doing this to me? He deserves to know the truth, Samantha. I was only doing what was right. He deserves a lot more than some girl who only cares about herself. I just don't understand. Why the hell would he do this? He loved me, didn't he? Why would he listen to that old hag of a mother I have? Because he trusts and respects me a lot more than he does you. You see, I know him very well. Marcus is a really good person who does everything selflessly. Do you know all that money he earns? Most of it goes to charity. Does that sound like someone that's compatible with you? You threw your own mother out on the street. Why should he care? You're not his family. It has nothing to do with him. You mustn't understand Marcus at all. Do you know that he grew up in a similar situation to you? What do you mean? Marcus's mother cheated on his father. She completely tore the family apart. From that point on, Marcus had no respect for people who cheated, and he felt like they didn't deserve to get away with it. So when he found out that you not only sided with the guy who tore our family apart, but you also pushed me out into the street, he had nothing but disdain for you. It only makes sense that he would file for a divorce. I hate this! Why can't you just mind your own business, Wendy? Why can't you just let me be happy? Just because you got thrown out of this family doesn't mean you have to destroy mine. All I'm doing is protecting someone I care about. It's like Marcus says. I'm like a mother to him, and he's like a son to me. I'm going to do what I can to make him happy. Goodbye. This is going to be the last time you or your father messages me. Samantha walked away from that situation defeated. Despite how much she was disgusted by her father's behavior, she had no choice but to go back to him. She didn't have anyone to support her, and those two needed each other. Unfortunately, she can't idolize him like she used to. She started to see the bad sides of him that I've been trying to point out for years now, such as his lazy and demanding attitude. At least now she's experiencing it firsthand. I hope she has some sort of sympathy for what I had to go through. As for me, I'm happily enjoying my marriage, and I'm also enjoying my work too. I'm glad that Marcus dodged a bullet by not getting married to my daughter. I know he's down about it, but I'm pretty sure he's looking for someone new. Thankfully for him, I'm quite well connected. It's only a matter of time before I find someone who's just right for him. I owe him for enduring a relationship with my daughter that wasted so much of his time. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, leave a like and subscribe to see more videos like this in the future. See you next time!